Here we go. Today we have legendary producer and reality TV star Stevie J.
I'm here. What's going on, Vlad?
And my homie for at least 10 years?
Yeah, I think a little longer.
A little longer than that,
like
yeah.
12, I say, like
maybe
12.
12,
yeah,
12, 13. Yeah, during the early days of Vlad TV.
Yep. It's good to see you doing great. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, man. We just randomly ran into each other at a sushi
Yeah,
spot.
exactly.
You know? And here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are. Well, we've done other interviews, but this is going to be a real in-depth one. So I want to start at the very beginning. So where were you born?
I was born in Utica, New York.
Okay. But then you were raised in Rochester?
Yes. I spent like 13 years in Rochester, New York. My family moved there. My dad, my 2 sisters, and my brothers. And stayed there for 13 years until they went to college in University of Buffalo in Buff State and then moved to Buffalo.
Well, you were raised by your dad, right?
Yeah.
Not by your mom, which is the more usual situation.
Yeah, my dad raised me, you know what I'm saying, and took care of me and my siblings. It was 6 of us, twin sisters. I was the youngest. He had us when I was 8 months. He took us. 8 months, it was me, my brother, a year older than me, my other brother, Keith, who had the problems with his legs, right? And then twin sisters, and then an older brother. So it was 6 of us.
Okay, all from the same parents?
Yeah.
So where was your mom during this time?
I mean, I never even got to school. I never even asked. You know what I'm saying? It's like, gotta live life, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that not having her around affected me in the ways with the women, you know what I'm saying? With me not trusting women and all that. But you know, we live and we grow and we able to learn how to deal with things and put it behind us. You know, and that's the problem with the world today is like a lot of people, you know, they don't want to deal with the pain that lies within. You know what I'm saying? And they carry that. And that becomes like a burden. You know what I'm saying? It can make you sick almost. So I didn't even ask about where she was. You know what I'm saying? My pops never talked or spoke ill about my moms. You know what I'm saying? And I got with my mom about 11 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, Jocelyn took me to my mom for Mother's Day.
Okay, so you mean to tell me your mom left when you were 8 months old, and it wasn't until you were 40?
Till we got reconnected. It was like a phone call here and there, you know, like a, yo, hey, how you doing? Oh, okay, how are you? Where are you? You know, stuff like that. Nothing like really on the level of a connection. So on Mother's Day, Jocelyn woke me up one day in Atlanta, and she was like, let's go for a ride. And I noticed we were getting closer to Alabama. And I'm like, yo, where you taking me? She's like, you know where the fuck I'm taking you. So, but our service gave out on our phones because we in the middle of the fucking country and all that. So phone went out, so some kids, I was like, I bet they know where my mom lived. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I bet they don't. I'm like, yo, y'all know where my mom live at? And you know, Love and Hip Hop was like really at its prime then. So they took us to my mom's house. It was cool.
So that was the first time you really met your mom?
Yeah, I sat down with her. You know what I'm saying?
Well, why would a mother leave 6 children? There's got to be a reason.
Of course.
I know you don't know the reason,
I'm not,
but
you know,
there's got to be a very serious reason. There's a serious reason to leave 1 child, you know, but to leave 6, that's an extremely serious situation.
Or why did my pops want to take us?
Well, that's another story in
and
of itself.
It's like
also
2 sides of it.
Exactly.
Me, I just love them both. I just lost them both this year, last year. You know what I'm saying, within a year.
So you'll never know.
Yeah, so I don't care to know. I just know I love him and I love her, and you know what I'm saying, that's it.
Well, and you touched on this. Do you feel like you had trust issues with women
Absolutely.
because of that situation?
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
So you always feel that a woman, no matter what she says, will bounce out at any moment at your lowest point. Is that what kind of goes
or
to the
at
back
your
of your
highest,
head?
it doesn't
At your
matter.
highest point,
You know, that's why, you know, I just remain focused on things that make me happy, like my children and, you know what I'm saying, spending time in the studio, playing ball and, you know, making music. That's what my thing is. I love to hang with my family and make music. If a female comes in between, there's some time that you know what I'm saying, other than that, it's cool. I'm not even thinking about a relationship.
Have you ever sat down with a therapist and talked about it?
Plenty of times.
Okay.
Plenty of times, you know? I mean, that's one thing that I respect is one that is able to deal with, you know, the things that's going on within oneself. It's like a lot of people duck and hide that. Yeah. That's why I played, my life played out right on Love and Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? It was, I ain't sugar.
And your dad is in a gospel band.
That's right, a gospel group.
Along with your uncles too.
The Jordan Gospel Singers.
The Jordan Gospel Singers, exactly. And you wanted to play with them as a kid.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
You got the whole story. So I wanted to play with them, because I used to watch them rehearse. And there was something about live music. And I'm like, yeah, my pops played the bass. My Uncle Dave played the guitar. You know what I'm saying? And my Uncle James was the lead singer. It was like a whole bunch of my uncles. And I asked my dad, could I play the drums? Because their drummer was weak. And he, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know this dude. And I'm like, I'm 5.5, like, let me play. You know what I'm saying? He like, all right, boom. After the rehearsal was over, he grabbed some pots, a small one, a medium-sized one, and a large one. And he gave me a set of drumsticks. He said, if you beat your way through these pots, I'll get you a set. So about a year later, I had a set.
You actually beat through the pots?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you actually had a drum set. That was your first musical instrument that you owned?
Yeah.
Okay. And no lessons, you just kind of picked it up naturally?
Naturally.
And then you moved to other instruments?
Yes, then I started with the guitar and the bass, because my dad had a bass there at the crib, so I would just pick it up and just try to mimic what I saw or just try to get a sound out of it. And I would do the same thing. My Uncle Dave would let me hold his guitar, and he'd be like, no guitar picks for you, you don't need it, just learn how to play. And soon enough, as the years progressed, I got a little better and better and better.
Right, then you picked up the keyboard.
Yeah, picked up the keyboard around, I want to say like my senior year of high school, really.
Huh.
I always dabbled in. I played 3 notes like, thought I was nice. That shit wasn't nothing. So that's when I started at the beginning of my senior year. And then by the time my brothers and them came back for Thanksgiving holiday, they was away for college and all that. I'm like, I was playing chords like. They were like, yo, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got something going on. And it was like, I moved to Buffalo that year, my senior year. This is where like my life changed, because my whole family had moved to Buffalo because my sisters was going to college to UB, my brothers was going to Buff State, and so my dad let me stay with my basketball coach, Coach Jackson, Trent Jackson, great guy. He, he ran his family, like my father ran his, real stern and all that. So my dad let me stay there. So, long story short, we had a championship basketball game. We all shaved our heads, bald the whole team. You know what I'm saying? We lost the game, but the thing was, my father and them came to the game. My father, my stepmother, Rosalind, and my brother Keith came to the game. And after the game, my dad came to the locker room. But our deal was that I could stay and finish high school, because I went to the same school from 6th grade to my senior year. Dude come to the locker room like, come on, let's go. I'm like, where we going? He's like, we going to Buffalo. I'm like, nah, I'm hanging out with my friends. Like you said, he's like, yo, grab your things, let's go. I said, yo, this some bullshit, basically. You know what I'm saying? That 50 minutes was the longest 50-minute ride from Rochester to Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was like, yo, I want to do something else.
Well, yeah, you dropped out of high school at one point?
Yeah, basically, I went to this school called Bennett High School. You know what I'm saying? And they had this policy where once you have if you get an early release, you can't come back to school. But I didn't know that. My sister had a baby, had an early release, went to see the baby, came back to school, and got suspended. It's cool. I don't even want to go to school. Started going up to the college, dating the seniors in college, the juniors. They teach me about Babyface, Layla Hathaway, and they like, yo, you could play all these instruments. Like, you should produce. I'm like, produce? What's produce? They're like, that's the guy that put all the music together. You know what I'm saying? So I started making songs like, and it's like, people was like, yo, you sound like Devontae from Jodeci. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Unbeknownst to me, the first group I ever worked with was Jodeci.
Okay. So, you got your first break when you met Jodeci. Now, this was
almost. I had a little break earlier with Joe Public. It was a group from Buffalo that had the song, You Got to Live and Learn. Go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I noticed that they were hanging with Jermaine Dupri was hanging with them with the musical stuff and all that. So they invited me over and they showed me how to do intros, verses, B-section, chord. They gave me song structure. So they were the first group, so I was coming in with a little knowledge. And they gave me my first zip drive, disc, a floppy disk of sounds. And we'll get to that later.
Okay. Well, at one point, I guess you were at a Rochester fashion show.
Yes, absolutely. That's crazy. I got kicked out of school and all that. And, you know, my dad allowed me to graduate from Kensington High School. And after that, that whole summer, I was working in the studio trying to get nice at what I do. And my brother Michael's ex-girlfriend, Rolanda, she hit him like, yo, I want your brother to come up with his band, with his group and sing at the fashion show. You know, we get there, was nobody there. So we at the bar with it, Hennessy's. Boom, boom. We go back 30 minutes later, it's a packed house. Jodeci in the building and everything. So, you know, we performed or whatever, and Dalvin, Casey, and JoJo came up to me and was like, yo, y'all nice, man. Who did y'all tracks? And I'm like, yo, I did. They're like, yo, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, it's a piano in the back. I know all y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? So I started playing their songs and stuff. I started playing Stay and all that, they singing, and I was harmonizing with them. They're like, you sing too, bro? You know, went to the studio, met Devontae, and that was a done deal.
Right, because they're working on the show, the after party, the hotel album.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And you had 2 songs on there.
That's right. Some More and
Fun Tonight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you're producing for Jodeci on a major label album.
That's right.
And you had 2 placements on that album, and at that point, Jodeci was hot to death.
Yeah, they were like a rock band.
Right. This was their second or third album?
I believe this was the third album.
Third album.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll be honest, like Jodeci is my favorite male R&B group ever.
I would have to say the same.
Yeah, because I feel like they catered to men as well as women.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying?
The style, like just the way they present themselves, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, is more like a rock, you know what I'm saying, hardcore type of style. And R&B, because most R&B dudes was like a little more smooth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, man, I love Jodeci.
Yeah.
I love Jodeci. I've interviewed Mr. Dalvin before.
That's right.
But I'd love to interview the rest of them as well. Okay, so now you're producing them, and you guys hang out for like a year and a half?
Probably, yeah, almost 2 years.
Okay, so what was it like? And you were actually playing background, instruments for him and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I did background vocals on the album, played a lot of instruments on the album, and I went on tour with him too.
Okay. Now, you are, let me look this up, around 22, 23 years old.
21.
21.
Yeah.
And you're going on tour with Jodeci.
For the first time.
For the first time.
I mean, it was bananas.
What was the craziest experience during that time?
In London. We was in London, and they sold out back-to-back days. And it was like crazy. Like, I never knew how it was behind the scenes. Like, and it's just like at the hotel, it's like thousands of girls. It's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So boom, they like, yo, go with some girls or whatever and bring them back. So, you know, I slide down, go get like 5 girls, bring them back upstairs. They like, all right, thank you. Go back to the room and learn your parts for tomorrow. Like, this is where I'm like, all right, cool. So my lesson early was.
So after working with Jodeci, and Puffy was the one that really A&R'd Jodeci's first album.
Absolutely.
And really styled him and everything else like that. So he was very instrumental in that group.
Yes, he was.
So you met Puffy through Jodeci?
I met Puff at I think it was Live Aid. That was the name of the concert in New York. And they were like, yo, Biggie and Puff on the show. I didn't know. I'm on Jodeci wave. You know what I'm saying? I'm really into R&B at this point. I'm, you know, got my roots stuck in R&B. So I'm like, I don't know these guys. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, how I met Puff was Chad Elliott, Dr. Seuss. You know what I'm saying? Great friend of mine, brother to me. He had me in the studio, me, Missy, and a couple other writers, you know what I'm saying, in the studio. And I think it was Peekaboo or whatever. And he had us in a session with Total. And I was in there playing the guitar and singing with Total. And he walked by like, yo, Stevie J, right? With Jodeci, right? I got a contract for you in my car. And we started laughing, you know what I'm saying? And we just went to talking, and you know, he expressed to me, he's like, yo, I'm looking for somebody like you that does what you do. I'm the plug. I got all the, you know what I'm saying? I got all the artists and the labels, and, you know, I'm in a good position. So it was like, all right, so what we doing? You know what I'm saying? You got the plug, I'll be the music. We do something 50-50.
Right. Well, because, let me just rewind for a second. While you were with Jodeci, there was something called Swing Mob.
Yes.
Which you were part of.
Yes. I guess I was. If I was down with them, yeah. I guess,
right.
Yeah.
But at one point, it kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And that's when you went with Puff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, you know, you know, it was like, I guess Jodeci was going through a transition in their career where they were handling business and, you know, they had to handle their business and, you know, all the artists weren't happy they weren't handling the business. Like Missy was there.
Timberland was there
Timberland
too, right?
was there.
Yeah.
Tweet was there.
Right.
Player was there.
Missy was
Sugar
in a
was
group,
there.
I think, originally.
Yeah, she was in Sugar.
There we go. Yeah, girl group. Yeah.
I think it was.
So there's a lot of talent right
no,
there.
it was what was the name of that group? Sister.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah, all of them were there. You know what I'm saying? And it just got to a point to where, you know, everybody wanted to spread their wings, so to say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. It's Sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now you start working with Puff, and you guys formed the Hitmen?
Yes, absolutely. The Hitmen was a group of producers, myself, D-Dot, Carlos, Nasheem, Ron Lawrence. That was a core group. You know what I'm saying? And Mario Winans came on later. You know what I'm saying? But that was a core group. Chucky Thompson originally, the OG, the reason why I was even there. When I heard Mary's album with All Night Long and all them songs on it, I'm looking at the credits. I was a big credit guy. You know what I'm saying? Chucky Thompson. So Chucky started the Hitmen. It was Puff and Chucky started the Hitmen.
Okay, and the thing about the Hitmen and that era was the music was very sample-based, but you guys would replay the sample.
Absolutely. On certain songs, we would replay the whole sample or play on top to just give it enough, you know, so it just had a certain fullness to it, a certain sound. I believe that's what kind of like took hip hop to another level once, you know, I came in and started adding on those tracks that D-Dot was doing and Nasheem was doing and Carlos and Lawrence, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I think that changed the sound of the game on that Life After Death album.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you're recreating the sounds with new instruments.
Absolutely.
Bigger, brighter sound, but also on the business side, you don't have to pay the master recording
costs,
right? Because you're not sampling.
Exactly.
So you pay the publishing, but not the master.
That's
so you
right.
basically, you're getting 50%